Welcome to Kaynichole After Dark. I am your host, Kaynichole. And if you've missed any past episodes, you can check them out on YouTube at Kaynichole After Dark. The link is in the bio. Before we get started in today's topics, I want to again speak to you about AKYCS, Always Keep Your Crown Straight, Crown and Beard Oil with all natural ingredients. You can check it out on Etsy. The link is also in the bio. It helps with growth, dandruff. It strengthens the hair, helps with growth, helps with shine, moisturization. It's here for you. So definitely check that out on Etsy. Okay. So the topics are tonight. Okay. High Mega Man versus Piranhas. Okay. Good evening. So we're going to talk about patience and thankfulness tonight. And when I discuss, thank you, Night Angel Exodus, for the first badge of the evening. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that very much. And yes, to support the page, support the channel, always appreciate a badge. So thank you. So again, the topic for this evening is patience and thankfulness. Because tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I hope people that you love, and if you're not spending it with people that you love, that you're spending it doing something productive or being safe. I know that it's a time that a lot of people do things that that can, pretty well, let's call it what it is, commit suicide, and we just need to check up on our loved ones and make sure that we do the self-care that we need for ourselves, so that we don't do anything that could, devastate everyone around us. So, but not to keep it heavy, but I just wanted for us to recognize that and just have some self-care. Tis the season that a lot of people in my profession, where we see a lot of people do acts that are unsafe, and I just want you to check up on your loved ones. And okay, now to put it on a positive note, let me drink my first sip of the evening. Still gross. Patience. So the discussion about patience, right? In dating, when meeting a person, you should have patience in trying to get to know that person and not rush into the relationships. In this day and age, I'm noticing that more and more people are expecting microwave relationships. Night Angel Exodus presents, if you can't be with the ones you love, then love the ones you're with. Yes. Thank you, Night Angel Exodus presents. So having patience in getting to know someone, I feel that a lot of people are wanting to have microwave relationships nowadays. And I'm bringing up this topic because recently I myself, like I said, I'm currently dating and getting to know a gentleman out there, and everybody wants something so fast in return and not waiting for a relationship to truly cultivate. You can't say that you want to date, you can't say that you want to marry your best friend and not date them on a consistent basis to get to really know them. And of course, having a negative attitude going into a relationship. When in dating, you want to go with a positive attitude. You can't have a negative attitude towards dating and expect it to work, or expect for a female or even for a man to want to get closer to you. So if you're going to start out the gate and being a negative Nancy, whether male or female, it's not going to get you far. You want to be welcoming. So if you're not ready to date in a relationship, then you shouldn't date. Background story on this on this person. So met them at a place of business, and they were telling me a little bit about their personal life, and they recently broke up with a young lady. They said, I guess they were together for a couple of months or something like that. And he was saying about how crazy she was and how immature she was. And I'm listening to him, and he has so much venom towards her. And I'm just like, okay. And that, for me, is, and I mean, going to past videos, so check them out, like a red flag. I take that as a red flag, because to me, I'm under the understanding that you're not over this. Right? So, again, I don't think a person can truly move forward unless they're over the past, right? So you have to be able to. So that was the first. So that was the first issue, or concern, should I say? The second concern was that he was so, in the way that he spoke about how a female should date him. He was telling me that a woman should be pursuing him. Now, that changes the natural order of things, okay, in my book. Maybe in somebody else's book, they are fine with the woman pursuing the man. But to me, I find that's a little bit unnatural. And I just came across of it kind of weird. He gave an example of a woman that was interested in him and was, cooking for him and, doing things for him. And she had another man on the side or whatever. And eventually, when they became serious with the other guy, she, cut him off or whatever the case might be. But I was like, well, she might have been doing that to be appreciative. I mean, if she wasn't giving you anything else, I mean, she's, trying to cultivate this relationship with this man. And, she showed you that attention. And again, I can't say what mental state he was in, okay, when this woman was doing all these things for him. Because a lot of times we can enjoy a person doing things for us, right, in a time of hurt, in a time of pain, in a time where we might need somebody, to hold on to at that point in time, right? So I don't know what point in time she came into his life, right? For him to say, this woman was doing, so much for him, and again, someone has told me in the past, people hyperbolize. So who knows if what he was, saying was completely genuine or not. So you're telling me that all this, that's how you think about how women should go about liking you and pursuing you. This is what your past relationship was. You felt that you were doing more in the relationship than the other, than the other person. And now you're ready to go into the dating pool? I mean, it sounds a little strange to me that again, it's not strange, because the third warning sign for me was that our first conversation on the phone ended going towards sex. Hey, sweetheart, how are you doing, sexy? Welcome to Kaynichole After Dark. Welcome, everybody. Since I've been speaking for a while, welcome to Kaynichole After Dark. If you've missed any past episodes, be sure to check them out on YouTube. The link is in the bio. Thank you for joining. And we're talking about patience in getting to know someone, you know, to build a relationship. We definitely need to lock in. Definitely. I would love that. Thank you, Director J. Lewis. Angel X's president says, "Say it ain't so." You still model? Of course, I still model. Every Wednesday is Kaynichole After Dark, where I talk about relationships and building us together, because we are constantly going at each other about women and men, and I want to advocate for us, you know, for us both, that we can build a bridge towards each other. So this is what Wednesday is all about. So thank you for joining the live. So he's telling me that he's ready to be in a relationship, or a date towards a relationship after this breakup with this girl, right? And he was telling me some intimate things, which I'm not going to share, but again, he was doing all the work, you know, in this relationship, and how pissed off he was, and he had a lot of, you know, venom towards it. And like I said, he was saying, you know, this is what a female has to do, like that female, whatever case might be. And I was like, okay. And it kind of took me aback. And so I'm not that female. I don't pursue a guy. A guy has to genuinely pursue me. So I was like, okay, cool. We can probably be friends, you know. That's about it. But seeing him in any other category is not going to happen. So he hits me up, and we have a conversation or whatever and stuff like that. But I've been busy. So he sees me out. He sees me at the place of business. And we, you know, we chatted up like we usually do and everything like that. And he hit me up. Now, no calls, just texts. Okay, that's one. And then has an attitude about me not responding. Now, I feel like there's certain like phone etiquette and everything like that, because if you really want to get in touch with somebody, you should call them. But but having patience in how you approach somebody, again, like I said, coming in to dating with open and excited attitude rather than constantly going in there with a negative mind. Because like I said, from all those things that's accounted for, it's, in my honest opinion, it strongly can be said that he still hasn't healed from that, and he still has a lot of anger, or at least, you know, frustration towards that woman, and probably towards women alike, if they're not showing a certain behavior that he needs to see in order for him to take them seriously. And I just feel that it works best, and this is from my, like I said, my this personal experience, but I would say in general, that you don't rush into getting answers from people and getting to know people. Take your time. If you want this person to be your forever, what's the rush? And I just can't understand why. Don't be quick to go to anger. Just don't be quick to go to anger. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to. And you never know what anybody else is going through, which ties into what I was saying earlier. You never know what anybody is going through for you to honestly go into a negative, and especially about taking things personal. When getting to know people, you should never take things personal. Until, you know, you truly know them when you're dating and things like that nature. But when you're getting to know them, don't take what they're doing personal until you actually get to know them. And getting to know people takes time. There is no rush. Angel Exodus presents this exactly. No, I mean, we are often rushing into relationships these days, you know. And like I said, with an earlier discussion, you can just date. You don't have to jump into something and get to know somebody. If you don't hear from them in a couple of days or something like that, there's no reason to fret and lose your mind over it. Even if you don't hear from them for a week. And if, like I said, if you really want to get in touch with somebody, you call them. So that is my my thing about patience and / rant, because it's just like everybody wants things so fast. Even in text messages. I know that in texts, especially with Apple phones or whatever, the little bubbles come up if it shows somebody is like responding to you and everything like that. And I mean, if you can already be in discussion, but if a conversation goes off or there's a lull in conversation, and I mean, people should have etiquette enough to say goodbye in text messages or whatever the case might be, but even not so, give it time. Don't just automatically go to a negative reaction towards people. Give people a chance to explain themselves. I know that it's easy for us to have negative thoughts about things, but we have to be able to control our emotions. And I mean, I'm the one telling you that, and I'm the worst. But it's something that you have to do. You have to learn how to do it. Night Angel Exodus Presents says, courting is supposed to take time. And if you really want to reach a person, then call after you text. I believe that too. But, everybody does things differently. So. But now on to our next topic, which is being thankful, man. Like I said, tomorrow is, outside of us talking about the genocide of indigenous people, it's a time of being thankful for all the things that you sowed during the earlier months, the earlier spring and summer months, that now you can harvest it. So all that work that you put into your business, all that work that you put into, your writing, into your novel, all the work that you put into school, all the work that you put into your child, all that work that you've done so far this year, you should be seeing the harvest of that, the bounty of that. And if you're not, then this is a quarter to look at it and see it from a different perspective. Because you can't receive something without putting something in. And I think that we honestly forget that it's a blessing when we get things and don't have to work for them. That's a blessing. But most of the time, you have to work for the things that you receive. Hey, good evening. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well this evening. Welcome to Kaynichole After Dark. So again, what I was saying, you have to work for your bounty, for the bounty that you receive during this time. You have to be thankful for it. And if you haven't received one, it's because there's something's amiss. So you have to look at everything and make your decision. Oftentimes we want to look outside of ourselves when we don't receive our harvest or our bounty. And sometimes we're our own enemy. So when we do receive things, when we do have things, be thankful. Hey, Feisty. How you doing? We have to be thankful for the things that we receive. And I take, Thanksgiving is, yes, a day to be thankful, because every day is a gift. You don't have to be here. There's so many people that have died in these past years. So much has happened. That's happening right now on the other side of the country. I mean, I'm sorry, this other world. And we're blessed. I mean, it's crazy to say that we acknowledge one day a year that we have to be thankful, but if you are certainly spiritual, certainly have like some kind of spiritual belief or religious belief, then to be thankful every day. Just count your blessings, because this is the first Thanksgiving that it will be without my uncle. And I'm just like thinking about it, and it's like crazy, y'all. Like, this is gonna be like the first year of not having him around, and it's a quiet year, yo. It's a quiet year. And it's like, yeah. I mean, yes, he wasn't physically home last year, but he was still around. Like, we visited him last year, So, be thankful, y'all. And like I said, this is a time to also, like I said, look at your harvest, look at your bounty, look at what you've accomplished and everything like that. Be proud of it, and also see what you can do better. Because the point is always to do better, to make sure that we are better than what we were the day previously. Continue to strive, continue to be great, because we all have greatness within us. And be thankful for your greatness. Be thankful for your weirdness. Be thankful for your power, because you're amazing. And you need to look in the mirror and tell yourself that every single fucking day. So be thankful. So, like I said, looking at the bounty that you've cultivated. And if you're not seeing what you like, write it down. Make a mood board. Just look at what you possibly need to do. How you need to, maybe you need to cut your losses. Maybe you need to work on this at another time. Maybe you might need someone to assist you. You might have to hire extra help. There's, you might have to pivot slightly. Maybe you might have to do something, slightly differently in your business. Maybe you have to, go back to doing something that you weren't previously, that you were doing previously. There's no shame in it. Sometimes you have to go backwards to make steps forwards. Be thankful that you can make those moves, because there's some people that have burnt so many bridges that they can't go back. They can't do anything about it. Kaynichole After Dark Presents says you're amazing. Thanks. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, like, guys, we have to be thankful for what we currently have, and count our blessings here. I know I have a people that don't necessarily celebrate Thanksgiving, but it's a holiday that we celebrate to appreciate the things that we have outside of, like I said, the genocide of an entire peoples. But look at the things that you haven't, that you haven't completed and stuff like that. The harvest that has shriveled, the harvest that didn't get enough water, the harvest that didn't get enough sun. Look at the harvest, that has, that had bugs in it. And say, what could I do differently? How can I change this? How can I make this better? because it's definitely a possibility. You know, anything that you're working on, that you're building, you can make it stronger, you can make it better, you can make it more resilient, more reliable. Because and make it amazing. Because I see so many entrepreneurs out here. And Justice Presents, celebrate to appreciate. Exactly. So definitely be thankful. If you're not already thankful, then please try to count your blessings this evening.